So one of the things WDCS has brought to this meeting is a review of trade in products other than whale meat. One of the prime drivers of the decimation of whale stocks last century wasn't demand for whale meat, it was demand for oil to make products, to manufacture products such as industrial lubricants. Whale oil was used ultimately in the aerospace industry. It was used to make margarine in the 1920s, and those drivers were behind the decimation of whale stocks last century. We wanted to take a longer perspective looking at the proposal on the table, and we wanted to have a look at what the whaling nations are doing right now in terms of applications like that for whales. So it's clear that the whaling nations have a financial crisis in terms of their whaling industry. Norway 5, 6, 7 years ago had about 36 boats going out every year to catch whales for whale meat. They now have about 18 this year. Japan and Iceland both have thousands of tons of whale meat and blubber in stockpiles that isn't in demand for human consumption. What we're concerned about is that the whaling nations, while there isn't demand for whale meat, are now developing new uses, new applications of whale oil that they are intending to find new international markets for. First of all, domestic markets, but ultimately, in the long term, international markets. What we've found is that in Norway, the government and industry is making heavy investment into the development of pharmaceuticals from whale oil. Not just health supplements like omega-3 tablets that people take as a health supplement, but actual pharmaceuticals that would be licensed as a medicine in the longer term, which they've done with sealed products too. In Japan, we're seeing government perhaps invested in industry, but certainly industry investment in whale cartilage as a medicine, as a treatment for human diseases, and again as a health supplement. And in Iceland in particular, but in all three whaling nations, we're seeing whale blubber, whale oil, being processed into meal to feed livestock, and in particular we fear farmed fish. What we're trying to do is to bring a longer perspective to the issue at this meeting. We have governments looking at a proposal to legitimise commercial whaling over the next 10 years. And what we want them to consider is that maybe in the next 10 years, looking at the economy of whaling in the whaling nations right now, if they were just hunting for meat, perhaps the industries would die out and lower quotas might be a way to help drive that. But if we're right, and we believe we are, that all three nations are developing new applications for whale oil, 10 years effectively gives them a deadline. It gives them time to complete the research and development of these products, to find new markets, to find new consumers, and in the longer term, to soften public opposition to using whales in common everyday products as they used to be used, and ultimately we fear overturning the international ban on trade in whale products. So that's the perspective we're trying to bring to this meeting. Look back at what whaling did to whale populations historically. It was whale oil that drove the decimation. And look at the whaling nation's current investment in these new applications. And please try and understand that in 10 years from now, we might be looking at a very different situation where meat is not the prime driver for hunting of whales. It's whale oil all over again. You can see more of our information on our website, whales.org, and we'll be delivering reports to delegates of this meeting and briefing the press of the meeting on our serious concerns about this issue.